Well, we were doing a show about the devils, when Satan came right out and asked to play. We said, you sure you want to do this? He said, I ain't that bitch Anubis. We said, well, these here cards will fuck up your whole day. It's the Tarot Host Show. I am waiting for Abigail. There she is, I think. Guest. Here we go. Oh, there's a band from studio option. Let's add Abigail. Hey, girl.
Hi.
We're on.
I didn't know that you had this whole like vocal thing as like the intro to your spiel. So I'm in love with that right now. I totally want to record it.
Oh yeah, it's a little song I made up, and it's to the musical track of the White Stripes' "Little Ghost." And I really want to have like when I start doing my YouTube channel for real, I really want to have that be the opening for like every episode. But I gotta find somebody. If anybody's listening or watching this, I need somebody that can do the music part for me, because I can't find like just the track anywhere. So otherwise it'd just be me singing. But I was like, oh, I gotta fix my hair. It's not goofy enough.
It's okay. I'll share some of my poof with you, honey.
I need some of your poof. I love that room you're in with all the wood. How beautiful.
Yeah, it's not literally a tree house, but my ambition, my dream is to have a tree house when we build our property or when we build a house. And so this is a little, I don't know, like a 6 by maybe 12-foot shed in the backyard. And it's among our trees that are in the backyard. So I'm calling it my tree house. So until I get one.
I had a little tarot tent for a while out in the trees. I lived out in in the Portland beautiful woods.
Yeah.
And I had a little tent out in my driveway, and it was my tarot tent. And I got a like from Eckhart Tolle on the post. I was very excited about that. But I know what you mean. It's like nice to have this nice little place just for you,
Yeah, absolutely. After because my wife is like, she's the most supportive person in the world when it comes to like tarot and esotericism and basically anything that I want to do. But she was getting so frustrated with me like incense bombing the house with all of my incense and the oils. And she's like, will you open a window? And I'm like, I don't want to. I want to sit in this. I want to enjoy the smoke. And so when the option to convert this backspace came up, we're like, oh yes, this is mine. This is what's happening.
Perfect. Well, I love it. It looks really nice. I like that look. Hi, Melanie friends. Hi, Gina Yenzer. Gina is my go-to girl for testing my love light and go fuck yourself game. She's always on for me. She's like awesome that way.
Sweet.
Hi, Facebook user. Okay, so here's the thing. If you don't give StreamYard permission to let us see your picture and your name, I won't know who you are when you're commenting. I'm talking to the guests right now, or not to, I mean, to the watchers. So if you don't want to do that, that's totally fine. But just put your name in your comments so that we know who we're addressing. Hi, Shay. So look, people are already asking questions, and we will do tarot readings tonight, but I did want to talk to Abby for a little bit. And so I love you because you're my best wholesaler.
Oh, darling.
Besides the fact that you are beautiful and nice and funny and friendly. Yes, you are great. And I know Kaylani loves you too. We're fangirls.
Thank you. You came on my radar because when I first started Tarot Nerds, you were the first person I ever read for. Like ever, like in Tarot Nerds, period. You were number one. Like I went back and looked at the video. It was so bad.
Was it? See, I don't even remember that. That's so cool.
Yeah. You were the first person, and I remember the first card that I pulled for you was a 3 of Pentacles out of my Deviant Moon set of cards. It was like tarot deck number 3 out of like 300 now that I have. So it's just like every time we do anything, I'm always reminded of how like, girl, you were my start. You were the first person I read for, and I was so nervous, and I ruined your reading. I'm certain of it, but it was so nice just to be able to read for somebody that I kind of knew, because we were like stranger friends at a distance at that time.
Yeah.
And you were super kind to me. And so thank you. And I owe you a redo on that reading because, dear God.
I think like, because I think we had this conversation and I think you gave me a redo already.
Oh, I did?
I don't know. I'm a stoner. What do I know?
Well, hopefully either way it's better. It continues to get better is the
Speaking
whole.
of which.
Oh, hello. I'll have my coffee. How about that? That's my person.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be rude. I just ran out of time before the show. And I want to get giggly.
More than fine. More than fine. My wife and I we're playing or staging a little stay home. We call it a play date where we play games with each other and send the child to his room. And it's like a little date. So we're making wings and we're making pierogies and something else. And we got hard kombucha. And so that's going to be our getting drunk is hard kombucha.
Yeah, you know you're old and granola when you're having hard kombucha.
Right? I mean, it sounds so basic and like very Pacific Northwest, but it's like, you know what? You have to go with it sometimes.
I should probably put that as a card in my Love Light and Go Fuck Yourself game. That would be pretty funny. I have how do you say it? Kombucha?
Kombucha, yeah.
Kombucha.
K-O.
I have kombucha gas as a card. I bet it's bad. I have not tried kombucha because the SCOBY thing freaks me the hell out.
Oh gosh, I can't even deal with that aspect of it. So it's like I have to be kind of I guess I get to be a little bougie when it comes to my kombucha. So it's like if there's anything floating, I can't hang. But if it's been like, cleared out and filtered or basically, almost not kombucha anymore, then I'm totally there for it. I'm totally there.
Well, I would love to get to know you a little bit more because I feel like as long as we've known each other, like it's really just kind of like, I don't know you enough. Like how long have you been doing tarot?
Oh, Jesus. That's always the fun question because I worry about answering that question sometimes because Tarot Land likes to add clout to how many years that you say you've been in the game. And so my like semi-professional answer is like, oh, since I was a teenager, I've been slinging cards. And like legit, my mom did give me my first set when I was like 12 or 13 because she thought I was going to burn down the house because she caught me doing ritual in my bedroom one time when I was little. So she got me my first set of tarot cards and I still have those cards over there. Yeah, I still have those cards over there to
Is
this
it just
day.
the RWS?
So yeah, just a plain yellow box right away deck. That was my first.
How old were you when you were doing rituals?
I was like 12, 13 or something. I remember it because it was before my first relationship, and I was in my bedroom floor and I had candles because I'm a bit of a pyromaniac my whole life. I had candles out around me and I don't know what I was doing or what I was doing ritual about or for, but my mother comes walking in and I'm like and like,
at least you weren't like flicking in or something.
And so it's like, I can't have you lighting 15 candles in your bedroom by yourself. So here's a pair of cards or set of cards.
Your mom sounds rad, to be honest.
I'm grateful to have had like a very accepting mom, but in the same way that she's super accepting, she's also Southern. So it's like we have the whole there's certain things that are not talked about or are not done, and you ran away.
I'm sorry. I'm closing my door because I had it cracked because I was really hot, and then all of a sudden I got really cold, so I had to go close it really quick.
Oh, there we go. We got spirits running past you, darling. But
so your mom got you. Okay, so I just have to know, like, this has got me really curious. Like, did you read a book or something? Like, what had you lighting candles all around?
I noticed something that I noticed about me now that I'm older, looking back. Hindsight's always 20 times a million. But I kind of had a witchy streak in me back then because I lived in the country. I lived in the woods. I wanted to be kind of like a potion maker, and I used to pretend making I don't know, I would pretend I'd have like a big bucket that I would pretend to have my cauldron out in the front yard, and I would get my broomstick and I would snatch herbs from my yard, which is just weeds, you know, just the milk thistle that's over there and the dandelion that's over there. And I'd shove it into a bucket of water and I'm pretending to make brews and spells and things of that nature. And so I've always had like this pagan witchy, there we go, streak in me.
Do you think you got it like out of a movie or like what? Like where were you inspired to do this, or you just like intuitively just did this, or?
Yeah, it was straight intuitive because I didn't see movies until I was older. Until
you are
I could
a
like
real
actually.
witch.
The funny thing is that I don't classify myself that now, but I definitely have those tendencies, and I know that about myself. And I'm studying herbs. I even have like my altar. I have my setup over here. I do practice ritual. I call them workings nowadays. I don't really like the term spell. I wouldn't even call it that. Like
no. I said you said do.
Oh, do yeah. What I do.
Anyway, sorry.
I don't think it's voodoo, but
I'm the same way. Like, I don't necessarily classify myself as a witch. Like, I'm into energy, and I feel like, you know, magic is quote unquote. I can't remember the quote. I have it on the top of my head, but you know, I just smoked that big old hit. But that, you know, magic is just science that we don't yet understand.
Exactly.
And that's how I feel about it. And so I'm very like into magic, but I wouldn't necessarily call myself a witch, and definitely nothing that has any religion involved with it, like Wiccan or anything like that. I know that not all witches are religious, but like for sure none of that.
Yeah, it just I don't know, I've always preferred my own experience to anything that anybody tells me. Yes. And I grew up down south. I grew up in a Catholic church. I went to school in a Catholic church as well. So I've been indoctrinated in Christianity until my eyes bleed. And I'm fine off that. Like I feel well versed in it. And so the last couple of years I've been making a point to kind of experience other philosophies and other belief structures and see what I identify with and what I feel comfortable in. And the more that I've researched, the more that I've found, the more commonalities I find between things. And the more I'm realizing it doesn't really matter what label I throw on this. I have developed a practice for myself the way that I see fit. And for me, that's all that freaking matters.
That is so well said. I feel exactly the same way. Like you just spoke for me. Like that is just, you know, because and I really feel like it should be that way for everybody. I feel like, because otherwise you're just like, it's just doing something because why? Just because somebody else did it and well, it's okay to do it because you saw somebody do it and you like it. But it can't just be like, oh, I'm a Wiccan and I follow these strict rules even if I don't believe all of them. I mean, you might as well be a Christian at that point, you know, it's the same damn thing. And I was also raised as in a Christian. I went to Christian schools for a little while until I was homeschooled, and that was a whole mess.
Oh, honey, I'm so sorry for you. I'm so sorry, honey.
That was bad. I'm basically uneducated. I do have my degree, or my high school degree, but I'm basically uneducated. But I might go back to college sometime, but it definitely would be just to learn. And I'd probably go with something like studying those sort of religious, philosophical type of things, because I wouldn't go to school to get into a career because I like what I do. I like to work for myself. But I would go to just learn. And just like deepen my understanding of the world, you know? And so, did you go to college?
Yes, I have a bachelor's of science in industrial design. So I am technically an industrial designer. I did my 4 years by way. So I went to school a few too many times is how I like to put it. First, I was studying to be a cardiothoracic surgeon, and that was going to be like my thing was medicine. That was going to be my thing. And then I left school because I had a child and decided that I wanted to be his mother more than I wanted to be a surgeon.
Yeah, sure.
Made that choice. And then I was going to go into the military and decided that I was going to be a pilot. I had it all planned out. And the military told me that I'd have to do two things, one of which was give up custody of my child because I was an unmarried mother at that time. And I'd have to get rid of some of my
Whoa.
tattoos because I have two very large tattoos on my back. And they told me I could
Can we
have
see them?
7. You want to see my tattoos? I don't know if you can see it here, but I can give you this one. Like, that's part of one that's on this side.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but I have a dragon on this side and a dragon on the other. And I'm not
Okay.
getting like half naked on camera. Thank you. I'm not
Oh,
gonna do that.
fine. Whatever.
But I have these tattoos that are bigger than the size of my hand, and they told me if it's bigger than the size of my hand, then it counts as 2 tattoos, and you can only have 7. And by size, I then had 9, so I'd have to get 2 removed to be able to go into the Air Force. And I was like, okay, so I guess I'm not doing this.
Well, screw them. You don't want to be involved in that kind of bureaucracy. That's just dehumanizing. I don't like any of that.
I was raised in a military family, so I had like an innate respect for the military, and
I see.
it seemed really well suited for what my goals were at the time. So I was perfectly content at that time to do that, and so I was heartbroken when I was told yet again, in some way, shape, or form, I'm not good enough as I am to be a part of
Yeah.
their club. So it's just what it
Yeah.
is. But
Oh, well, screw them. I'm mad at them for you.
oh, thank you. But I loved being a designer. I still design stuff to this day. So even
What
though
kind of stuff do you design?
well, right now so as an industrial designer, that's basically product design. So any item, any physical thing that you can think of had to have been designed at some point in time. So anything that's not architecture, there you go, or fashion, that covers me and what I did.
I
So
need your help because I have come up with this idea. I was trying to put new lighting in my house, and I don't
mhm,
want to put too far into the idea because I don't want to. It's not patent pending yet or whatever.
okay,
But it took me like 5 hours to get these damn lights in, and I came up with a really good idea for how to just easily put in a light. And
nice.
I was trying to draw it, and I'm dumb. I
You're
can't.
not dumb, honey. You're using the best way that your brain can translate that information. And so, yes, you come to someone like me who can kind of sketch out your idea and then run you through the iteration process, the concept through to like making a mock-up or even sourcing a prototype for you.
Now I
So,
can source a prototype. I just needed the drawings to show them. And
mhm.
so I need to hire you for sure because I'm so glad that I got to know that about you because I was just trying to figure out. And then I met another person. One thing that I want to incorporate is besides the connection of the light, I want to design some of my own lights. And I want them to be sort of metaphysical. So like I have an idea for sort of a salt lamp bowl, and
Ooh,
then
cool.
like I had this idea for an inverted orgone generator, but something really beautiful though.
Okay.
And I was like, but the only orgone generators I've seen are solid. And
Mm.
so I was talking to this girl that bought some decks from me wholesale. All my wholesale girls are like pulling through for me. And I was like, I need a hollow orgone generator. And she showed me one in a picture right there. I was like, you're hired.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So okay. So I kind of like went off the rails there a little bit, but what is your favorite tarot deck
Oh
besides
my
Mood?
Besides mood, of course. So my favorite decks, they ebb and flow. And so like right now I have a toss up between, let's see, I just got the Journey of the Sacred Bee. So that's a favorite at the moment. Have you seen this one yet?
No, that's adorable.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so quick show and tell because of course we have to. Come on out.
Yes.
So I love this one because it's based on bees, so like literal bees. And the edging is metallic teal, so I kind of love that color. And
Yeah.
the front has all the sacred geometry kind of
Gorgeous.
visuals attached to it. And
Love that.
then the imagery is just super, oops, where am I at? There you go. Super dynamic and colorful. So
Ooh.
that's the kind of cups.
Are they images or artwork?
They are photo
or a
composite.
combo?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
they're photo composite images is what I would consider them, because some of them are real images and some of them are like just layered on imagery on top
I
of each other.
really
So
tend to not like that style for some reason, but
yeah,
I will. It can be made up for with a wonderful color palette, and
right?
that looks
Yes.
good to me. I like that. That's
I'm
beautiful.
I'm the same way. Like I do not vibe with photo collage. Like I can't hang with photo collage because the lighting starts to fuck with me, and that's the inner designer in me just losing my shit on a graphic design level. It's like no. This I can't happen, can't happen. And so like decks that are photo collaged out. Like I have the Light Seers Tarot, but I cannot stand what's her other one? The oh gosh. Do you remember
I
the other one? The
I only thought she had one. I don't know.
She had the other one. Oh my gosh, it's like right there on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, it was
Somebody
showing.
somebody tell us in the chat.
I know.
So
Chris
let me just
and
do a real quick disclaimer one more time because there's a lot of comments. If you don't want to sign up through StreamYard so that we can see your name, just at least tell us your name in the comment. That way we know who to address. So
there you
I'll
go.
probably say that like 2 or 3 times tonight. So.
It's okay. But if it's
Oh, was it Muse Tarot?
yes, that's it.
An
I love
anonymous
that.
person told us that.
Thank you, anonymous person. It was a great cardstock. I love the color. The artwork was interesting, so I don't knock it as a set of cards, but it's not a working set for me. Like, and I know that about myself. And what was another one? Like the Dust to Onyx Tarot. I love that art. I love that kind of style and that imagery. But when you do photo collage of real people's eyes, I get distracted by the eyes and I can't use it as a working deck. So
Oh, funny.
that's just me though. That's just me. So, but between the Sacred Bee and I think my True Black Tarot, those are my two favorites.
Oh, it was
Uh,
Kaylani that told us it was Muse. She says, "Hi,
yeah,
Kaylani."
so
So
yeah,
before we do readings, I want to ask you about your shop. Like,
yeah.
when did you start it? What got you going? What do you like love about it? What do you hate about it? Like, go off about the shop. I
Ooh,
love your shop.
thank you.
Yes.
So my shop, I run a online business exclusively on Etsy. I call it AV Tarot Market. And what that little space is that I sell new and used tarot cards, as well as astrology books and tarot books as well. And every now and then there's new like metaphysical books, but I try to keep it kind of within the astrology tarot land is kind of where I like to keep it, and psychic development. So there's some odds and ends, there's some stones, there's some jewelry, so there's a few odds and ends, but the bulk, like there's like 350 some items in that store, and the bulk of them will be tarot or books. Like that's just a long story short of that.
And I
But
love that you have your own journals and stuff. That's really cool.
yeah, see, those are the other things that I've designed. Ooh, speaking of, one of them finally came in. I just got, I was trying to take the post-it note off, my volume 2 of the Cycle of the Moon tarot journal that I designed. So this
That
is the
is
volume 2.
gorgeous.
Yeah. So I finally got it printed. It's going up tomorrow, so I'm super stoked about that.
Oh my gosh, I'm buying one for sure. I love
Please do.
it.
Please do. But yeah, the store started off with me selling off tarot decks that I didn't like of my own. Because once I finally got obsessed, like tarot obsessed, I was then sourcing with my wife when we'd go to thrift stores for other business. I was finding tarot cards out in the wild. And so I'd get them home and I'd like them for about 2 days. And then I realized I don't like this artwork. I don't want to keep it. And so I tried to sell it via like Facebook or not Amazon, eBay, or one of the other marketplaces that we had at the time. And it turned out that Etsy was a really, really good place to just kind of get rid of tarot cards that I wasn't interested anymore. And then it just kind of turned into a little bit of a business when it got to be like, oh, I found a source of replenishable cards that were selling, and they kept selling, and I kept getting them and I kept selling. And so when that was working, I was getting proof of concept that a used tarot store would actually work. And so I just needed to figure out how to source used cards. And so that's where a lot of people who know my face know me from trying to like, hey, can I get your collection?
Yeah, totally. Totally. I love it. I sold you a collection and my
Yeah.
dumbass forgot to face the cards. I felt so bad. Like, I was going through like facing cards for people when I was selling off decks that I didn't want anymore. And I was getting them all in order and everything. And then I was like, oh shit. I did not put those cards in order for poor Abigail.
No worries. It's part of my process, so it's not even an issue. And it's
Oh,
like
good.
nowadays, I do have what I consider to be kind of like a cleansing little ritual that every deck kind of goes through when it enters like my house and then my desk and then before it gets stored away. So it's just the
Oh.
I'm I feel like I'm intuitive enough and sensitive enough to kind of feel the person who used to last use that deck. So I feel like if I can pick that up, maybe other people can too. So I like to make sure that I can't feel the last person on it before I
Yeah.
put it away and get it prepped for sale.
Yeah.
So that's just part of the ritual that kind of happens on my desk on every set of cards that show up. So it works really well. But I love that store because it's been it's it's been useful. It's been productive. It moves. It has really good velocity. I've learned how to buy well for it. I've learned how to market it and monitor like my sell-through rate and understand the ins and outs of what it's like to be an online reseller essentially, and how to find new cards and used cards and make relationships and make connections and keep the business going. So it's essentially supporting my family. And so because it's me, my main goal in life has always been to live a life that's on my own terms. And
Mm-hmm.
this business gives me that opportunity. So it's
Yep,
like,
I know what you mean. Yep.
yeah, like I refuse to do anything else in my life because it's like I am now an entrepreneur. I work for myself. I will not work for another person ever because it's like, nope, I know too much now.
I think that all the time. I think that I would never ever go back. I don't care if I had to be homeless. I would never go back to working for somebody or like, but I wouldn't have to be homeless because I know how to make money now. And
Exactly.
it is working. And with the same thing with my tarot deck sales, like I feel like I could do this forever. It's easy and it's like basically passive income for me because all I have to do is pack them.
Yeah.
And I love packing decks. It's actually really fun for me. It's very like meditative.
Mhm.
But you taught me how to use pirate ship and how to get. But you saved me like $8,000 last year in shipping.
Good.
Yeah, you taught me how to. What was the other thing? There was the to get the freaking label printer.
Did you finally get a label printer?
I have it. It's beautiful. I love it.
I told you.
I'm hard headed, so I waited for like 1,500 decks in before I bought it.
I remember seeing that, like your cutout label on one of the packages that you sent me, and I'm just looking at it like, dear God.
I wasted so much tape and it looked so ghetto.
Right? I'm like, Libby, you are too good for this. Well, I'm so glad because, like, legit.
I remember when I posted that picture of my office and you're like, where's the label printer though?
Exactly. Oh my God. Like, seriously, I had told myself like 2 days ago when we were kind of prepping for this. If for some reason I found out that you did not have a label printer, I was sending you one for your birthday. Like that was prepared. Like this is what was going to happen.
That's awesome. Oh, well, thank you for that anyway. So that's that counts.
Me.
So, Gina wants to know that if you still read with the Deviant Moon Tarot.
Sometimes. And the only reason that I don't is one, I love how irreverent it is. I love how quirky, and I follow Patrick Valenza's work. Like I'm waiting for his Deviant Moon Oracle. Oh, I can't wait till it comes out. I've owned some of his other decks, but it's not a workhorse for me. So when I'm working with clients, I like to use my standard Rider-Waite Smith because that to me helps right into my intuition. So for me, that's really useful. But like I can see my Deviant Moon over there, and I love having it. I don't feel the need. I don't feel the call to work with it as of yet. If I was working with somebody who dealt with like a situation that was literally a clusterfuck, then I'd pull that set out. Like that one would be the set that I would use to read with it. But outside of that, I tend not to work with it too much.
Yeah, I basically like
Sorry?
unless I feel like somebody is needs like has a serious question, I use my mood deck. But other than if I do like a reading event or I feel like it's a serious question, I use my RWS, and those are the only two decks I use. Are you there? Oh, sorry, I thought you cut.
I believe it. That's why I'm not with it.
So I got hello from Straya. I have your tarot mood deck. At times, I've used it for readings about RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yes, honey. Oh my gosh, we were watching Drag Race just a little while ago. That's a perfect idea for that. That's perfect.
I've never seen the dang show. I need to watch it.
Oh, honey, we need to catch you up.
Yes.
So I don't know if any of your tribe here watches Drag Race, but I am a big fan of Bianca Del Rio. She's one of the queens of a season that I can't remember right offhand, but she's a crass like insult queen. Like that's what her shtick is that she's a comic and she just roasts people. That's what she does.
God, I love it.
I love Bianca Del Rio, and I think you'd be a big fan of hers too. So if you ever get a chance to, yeah, watch that one.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, okay. So here is a question. Which let's see. Let me just read this one more comment, and then we could do some readings. I'm so excited. Oh, this is from Kaylani. I'm so excited for you to sell my deck. Your inventory of Tower Takeover Tarot is actually in a box right now for you.
Oh, yay! I've been waiting for those cards. I love supporting new creators. I love supporting, people who are also in their entrepreneurial hustle. Like to me, it's like, hey, let's work together. I have no problems with that.
Me too.
So I look forward to like seeing what her deck does in the shop. So, because any promotion that you guys do, obviously benefits the sale of your cards on my site as well. I just get to package them beautifully, photograph them in the way the store likes, and present them, and then ship them beautifully in their whole little thing, which creates great business for you guys. So it works. It works.
If anybody needs a used tarot deck that's beautiful and cleared and packaged well and taken care of, go to AV Tarot Market on Etsy. Is that right? AV Tarot Market?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. It is the shit.
All one word.
And then Abby, what?
Oh, it's just all one word. AV Tarot Market, all one word.
All one word. And then Abby made like a Celtic Cross, like 30 Days of Celtic Crosses book. Like she's got her journal.
Yeah.
And they're all beautiful. Everything she makes is beautiful. So go check out her shop. So Vera, so we are now open for readings. And Abigail is going to do you can do 1 card, 3 cards, whatever you feel like doing. I don't care. And then I will pull for a mood oracle to add. In fact, I'll pull the mood oracle first because that's how I do my readings is I pull the oracle and I kind of get my little message. And then once I pull the rest of the cards, I'm like, aha, that's how it ties in. So
gotcha. All right.
So everybody
sounds
go
good.
ahead and ask your questions now. Make sure if you did not sign into StreamYard that you add your name. Otherwise we'll just go ahead and do the reading and hopefully you'll know it's for you. But this is for Vera. And do you know Vera Post?
No.
Okay. I've known her for since I've been online with tarot for a couple of years, because I just got online a couple of years ago, and she was one of the first people that I met through the first thing I did was become an approved reader in a free reading group. And Vera was one of them as well, but we only knew each other for a brief time. But I haven't seen her very often at all over the last years. So it's good to see you, Vera. She says, "Will my son and I move this year to be with my husband? Please and thank you."
Okay.
Okay. And I will show everybody the plastic card riffle shuffle. It's gorgeous. I love shuffling these cards. It's so funny because I've seen a couple of lives where people are like dropping them everywhere and they're all frustrated. I've never
Oh
dropped
no.
these cards. I've never dropped them. I don't know what's wrong with people. I just laugh my ass off and like roast them in the comments. I'm like, you can't shuffle, bitch.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so I got for the Oracle card, quit being a weak bitch, eat your veggies, do your kegels, and save tigers. Freedom. So I think like you're gonna have to be strong. Now let's see what Abigail has to say, and then we'll see how that ties in.
All right, so let me show you the cards. So just hopping into the intuitive aspect of the question, the first thing that I'm feeling, the first thing that I'm hearing is along the lines of you're going to have to be a little bit more proactive to get this done. Like everyone's going to have to be on the same page. Everyone's going to have to work together to get this done. It's not something that's just going to happen because we want it to. So the cards that I pulled for you, Sweet Pea, was the Two of Cups along with the Wheel of Fortune and then the Magician card. So to me, yes, this is a relationship and a partnership. So I love that aspect of it. This card is a card to me that kind of signifies movement or moving. So I could totally see you guys moving. However, with the Magician, it's like owning this. It's pulling responsibility, ownership, and accountability. If you guys want to move together, start that process, start doing the things that you need to do to get that move going. Like ASAP. Like don't wait for it to magically occur, but like start actively preparing, looking for the space, doing whatever it is that needs to happen so that you can. So it totally feels possible. Will it get done? Not without your cooperation. So you guys got to work together to get
You
that
gotta
done.
get those tigers in the cage.
Yes. Exactly.
It always ties in somehow. But you know that the cards are so practical because that's such practical advice. I mean, of course, you just have to figure out how you can be together and take the steps, and that's the only way. It's not going to happen magically. Well, I mean, it could. You can just manifest that shiz. You just manifest it right out your butt.
I mean, you could, but I'm too logic driven for that shit. I mean, I love manifestation. I love thinking great thoughts. I love that whole mindset. But to me, it's like, what is it? Like thoughts without action is like a boat on dry land. Like it doesn't happen. So we have to actively get to where we want to go or do the best we can anyway.
Yeah, I like to put it out there and then also make the steps. Like, you know, whenever I see on Instagram the money cat just say yes in the comments, I always say yes in the comments. But then I also have quite a long checklist that I, you know, do several things on every day. So, so there you are, Vera. And hopefully that, I like to say how Terry Van Drivener says it, hopefully that resonates with you.
Resonates. I love that. Hopefully that resonates with you, darling. I love it.
I laugh so hard. I love her. She's so fucking funny. I've been trying not to drop the F-bomb so much. Excuse me.
Oops.
So Gina wants to know, in fact, I have this streaming to YouTube, so I hope I don't get in trouble.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Gina says, I'm considering 2 career paths. Which one is better to pursue, A or B? I don't know how you want to answer that one.
I got it. I know how to do this like the back of my hand because I have a desk on my table that's white. So I use my pencil to mark out A on one side, B on the other, and I throw cards for both.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, because it is kind of a yes or no, so that's perfect.
Okay, A or B. Let's see what's going up.
So I'm thinking for my OnlyFans, I'm going to take the cards and shuffle them together the wrong way and go,
Thank you for warning me. I appreciate that. So I totally have to like do a bomb underneath the table. I'm like, I need to get out the way.
Oh, shit. I'm an Aries. I'm impulsive. What can I say? Okay, so for Gina, career path A, career path B. I'm going to do what Abby's doing. I'm going to do left for A and right for B. So for A, I got use your intuition, trust your butt, follow your fart. And it says, who says you should never trust a fart, but the cat is dying. So whatever that means for you. And then for option B, I got control, alt, delete, cancel slow, shitty, unresponsive programs. So this is basically, it says cancel, fear, regret, the patriarchy. and task. But it's basically like that idea of like release all things that do not serve me. So let's hear what
Hmm.
Abby has to say.
All right, so for option A, I got the Queen of Wands, I got the Judgment card, and then I got the Ten of Swords. For option B, I have the Hierophant, I have the King of Pentacles, and then I have the Tower. So your shadow card at the bottom of the deck was the Six of Swords. So I feel like both of these options,
Pros and
if you did a
cons.
pros and cons, yeah, if you did a pros and cons list, like they would probably neck and neck each other all the way down. And so
Mm.
from here, it's just wherever that little like half nudge kind of swings you, like wherever the wind blows kind of thing, because they both seem really good. They both seem like they will project you into the things that she's designed for herself or wants for herself. I don't feel real strongly about one over the other. They both have shitty cards attached to them too. One had the Tower, one had the Ten of Swords. So it's like both of them will cause upheaval. Both of them will kind of change how she thinks about herself or what oh, I always think of like new positions, new roles as like when you till the ground, it's creating a path of destruction, but it's for the growth of new plants, new things to happen.
Yeah, like that.
So ultimately, it's like, yeah, it's going to uproot how you think of yourself. It's going to uproot your life a little bit, but so does anything worth having. So
Well, and I
to
like
me,
to
it's like,
add, because you keep saying like uprooting and things like this, the underpinning card was the Six of Swords. So maybe one of those career paths has travel involved.
ah, ha,
Uh,
ha, ha. There
and
you
then
go.
I would like to say that I get a better feeling from option A based on my cards.
Sweet. Well, there you go. How
Hopefully
was
it
that?
resonates with you. Let us
Reason
know
it,
how.
got it. See, for me, like the Queen of Wands is a card that I identify with personally. So I would lean to that because it feels like this would make me feel most at home. I would feel like most like myself. In that particular location, when I get the King of Pentacles, I see like really good mentors or people who could be really good for me financially. So they both have their benefits, they both have their purposes. It's just kind of like, which do you want more? And the funny thing is for me, when I get situations that are just straight down the middle, like there's no clear definition on one side or the other, that's like universe telling us, no, bitch, you get to choose. Like we ain't gonna
That's
do
true.
this for you, you get to choose. So that also makes the situation.
Okay, let's see. Oh, Vera says thank you. Oh, we did her reading. Okay, so Facebook user did not say who they are.
Okay.
What message or messages do my guides have for me? That's a different one. That should be interesting.
Okay.
I got that you need more crystals.
Of course she does. Of course she does. Let
Of
me show
course
you what
it
I have.
does.
So the biggest thing, I'm feeling two things with you, Sweet Pea. One, that she projects very well, so it's like I'm feeling her like she's in the room, so I kind of love that. The other cards that I have for her is the Nine of Cups. I have the Six of Wands along with the Sun card. So I feel like your
Wow.
team, your spirit team, your guides, guardians, and ancestors, like if they have to tell you anything, it's that they have your back, that they're right there for you, that they're rooting for you, they're your biggest fan and your biggest cheerleader. I'm
Oh.
also feeling like a strong need and connection for you to reach out to your ancestors or your like your literal loved ones that might have transitioned already, because I feel like these ancestors are trying to offer their condolences, offer their support, offer their skills as people on the other side of this veil. But maybe if there's anything that you're kind of like, oh, that wasn't auntie or that wasn't grandma or whatever it was, they're giving you their clues, but you just need to listen to them and have some blind faith with it. Just allow it for what it is, and let them help you essentially. But your spirit team is very loud today, darling.
That
Spirit,
is
spirit
great. I'm
very
so
loud.
happy for her. That is a really good reading. So
Hell yeah,
I mean,
honey.
I feel like they're gonna help her out. Like you said, they got her back. Like I feel like she's gonna have some success because that Six of Wands, and
Hell yeah.
like they might be helping her out soon more than she thinks. So
Yeah. And like the
um,
sooner she leans into that, the sooner that she can kind of like feel that support, feel that connection, so that if she is going through anything, she can feel guided, she can feel loved in
hey,
advance, which makes anything better. So
yes,
yeah.
awesome. That is so good. I got chills. Okay, Gina says, just LOL so hard at that. Oh, I don't remember what she was referring to, but she was laughing at something.
It's all
Okay,
good.
a Facebook user, non-identified, says, if I may ask, I have a question. I started studying chemistry. It will be my second semester. I'm kind of freaking out. The question is, will I ever get at it? P.S. You're fun to watch. Oh. And they spelled "you're" right. Should I read that last part again?
Sure.
So she said she's, she's studying chemistry. This is her second semester. She's freaking out about it. The question is, will she ever get better at it? I don't think I read that right the first time.
Oh, got it. Okay. Will she ever get better at chemistry? Okay.
And I'm sure the cards are going to say something about putting in the work.
Yeah. Likely.
I got light bubble. Protect yourself from Karens and Chads by farting up a light bubble.
Yes.
So,
I love that.
that's okay. So to me, I'm seeing like that maybe you get better at chemistry by, wrapping yourself up, because I do the light bubble thing. I don't know if you do, Abby, but like if I'm trying to if I'm driving in the snow and I want to protect myself, for one, I imagine I'm driving on Rainbow Road on Mario Kart, and I have a light bubble around me. And when I'm meditating, I light bubble. And so to me, I'm seeing this as her sort of meditating on her chemistry and, getting, when she's studying, really, and just enveloping herself in it, diving in deep and getting into the light bubble and so like as a singer, when you're practicing singing, you don't belt out, because eventually you won't have any voice. You practice in
Right.
your head, you can practice hitting those notes in your head without even making a sound. And that's kind of what I'm feeling about that, if that makes any sense.
Well, it makes sense to me,
Okay,
particularly with the cards that I have. So,
oh,
Sweet
good.
Pea, the first card I have for you is the Eight of Swords. I also have the Tower, and then I have the Three of Swords. So, Hun Bunch, the first thing that I'm getting off of this situation is that we've got to readjust your thought process on how you're approaching chemistry, because it seems like as of right now you've already decided it's hard, you've already decided that you're struggling, you've already decided that I may not be able to go through it or get through it or what will happen. So it's like we've got to shift that mindset to like, yeah, this is hard, but it can be done. I'm not the only one who struggles with chemistry. Maybe we can get this better. Maybe I can get better. Like figure out ways to start to feel a little bit better at it or with it at a time. But it's all about, it's in your head game essentially, because the other cards, when I ask directly what should we do and what should we not do, I love those questions. What we should do is the King of Wands. Legit figure out if you can find your ass a mentor or a tutor or somebody that can kind of help you break it down for you a little bit more, and find additional resources, find additional support, find. Because the other card not to do is to Five of Pentacles. So again, to me, this is a little bit of that headspace and not to allow yourself to feel out in the cold, overwhelmed. What is another one? Beaten up by it, and don't allow yourself to get overwhelmed by it, because the bottom of the deck for me was the Four of Pentacles, and I think of this as the over my dead body card. So it's very restrictive, it's very like controlled. It's like I'm only acknowledging success when it shows up in these terms, and anything else is irrelevant. So let's not do that to ourselves, but let's find more help. Let's find more support, because of course it's learnable. Of course you can get it. Of course you're going to be able to progress with it just fine. But finding support will be really, really useful, and checking your own thoughts about it, because as of right now, you might be a little self-defeating at the moment. But we got you.
You can do it. You can do it. Man,
Yes.
I don't know anything like math or anything like that. I know she's talking about chemistry, but I bet she's having a hard time with the mathematical aspects. Okay, so Facebook user says, thank you very much. I'm the guides question. So this is from the girl that asked about her guides. She said, I did allow StreamYard, so it's weird my name didn't show up. My name is Igor and I'm a guy. Haha.
Oh, sorry, sweet pea. We're like tarot attracts a lot of women, so we tend to lean feminine until told otherwise.
Yeah, I catch myself all the time, like when I'm writing ads and stuff. Like I call people bitches and stuff, and I'm like, well, this is really talking like, I guess like the guys could be bitches too, but it sounds to me like I'm talking to just girls. But if I look at my insights, it's 97% women. You know, I'm basically
like, I can't help that it's true.
Yeah. Okay, so Facebook user says, when will I get a new job?
Ah, okay.
Oh, job sick to find as well.
That too.
Yeah, then you gotta like interview and act like you're all interested in being their little bitch.
Tell us how you really feel.
I know. I'm so negative right now. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Okay, so I got infinite abundance. You get the whole bowl of dicks.
Wow.
So anyway, I feel like soon I'm tempted to count the dicks and say that many days, because you asked when you'll get the job. But they're kind of hard to count. So, but
yeah,
I think let's see what Abby has to say. But I feel like that when you do get a job, it's going to be good. It's going to have like insurance, and you're getting the whole bowl of dicks.
So what I'm seeing on my end, because I did two polls at the same time. The first one was just like, what did we need to know about the situation? First off, that showed up was the 9 of Wands, along with the Hierophant and the Ace of Swords. So the big thing I'm feeling off of this is you're doing everything that you can, and I appreciate that. So you're definitely not one of those that are just sitting in the recliner hoping you'll get a job. Like, I feel like you're actively pursuing, you're actively interviewing, and you're a bit exhausted from it. You're a bit tired. So hugs and love. I'm sorry you're going through this bullshit, because I know it's bullshit, but I hope this shifts for you soon. And so what I was looking for was like, when can we expect something to kind of shift around for you? And I did a days, weeks, months, years poll for. So days was 2 of Pentacles, weeks was 3 of Pentacles, months was King of Wands, and then years was 8 of Cups. So I'm inclined to think that in some weeks you'd be more inclined to either get an offer that looks a little bit more promising, but it doesn't feel like you're actually making that move into a work position until the months. And how many months would have to pull more, and that takes up a bit of time. But if we're thinking weeks, at least 4 weeks, you probably get a really good offer or a really good interview that kind of leads to the thing that leads to the thing. But it seems like it's going to be some weeks or some months before it actually connects for you. So it seems like around the bend, like not too far away, just around the bend. Just keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing as well as you possibly can.
Good job. Get it. Oh, that's all the questions, and it's we're at 53 minutes. So, like, what else should we talk about? Was there anything that you kind of had on your mind like tonight?
What did I have on my mind? Ooh, tell me something about you, darling. If you have a mission or a North Star, what is your mission with your practice or your business? What is the thing that you're aiming for?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I call it edutainment, which is education and entertainment. And I really want to, and I guess I earlier said that I don't teach tarot, but I kind of do through my work. I try to make everything like have some sort of educational and entertainment value at the same time.
Very
So
good.
yeah, I think that's kind of my, and I really do like things to be funny. You know, like just when it comes down to it, like with the group, with anything I post, you know, even on my own timeline, I'm more tame on my own timeline, but I really want to crack people up. I want to make people happy, you know?
There you go.
How about
Oh,
you?
I feel like I run between a couple things, but I feel like the big thing that I keep wanting to share and kind of like not literally pound down someone's throat because that just seems rude and disrespectful, but more like, I really want you to get this. It's just that people have control over their own existence. They don't have to kind of bend over and surrender to the way things are. If something's going on in their environment, it's like taking ownership and responsibility. Doesn't mean it's your fault. It just gives you power to change it. And just the fact that you have control and choice and free will, goddammit. Like we have these things so that we can create the life that we've always wanted. It's not just subject to anybody else's terms. Those are kind of like the things that are recurring messages in my work, or the recurring messages in my practice, or the clients that I work with. That seems to be like the thing that I come back to is choice and free will. So yeah, that would
I
be.
love that. That's beautiful. And you know, I used to have a really hard time with depression, even to the point where I was suicidal for years, and I had many attempts. And after I got into magic and started to take my power, all of that went away. You know, I'm not saying like, and I'm not crying right now, by the way, my eyes watering.
You're
I'm
like,
not
I'm
saying
not crying at all right now. I'm not.
I'm not saying I don't have bad
Tears.
days, and I do cry, you know, but it's not like anything like before, because I am in charge of my life now, you know, and I wasn't before. I was a victim, and you know, magic is really good for that.
Yeah. I
So
love that it doesn't necessarily matter what it is that trips you over from victimhood to empowerment. So long as it does. Like, I don't care if it's magic, or if it's books, or if it's religion, or if it's something else that I don't absolutely agree with. I don't give a shit. The fact that you were able to shift yourself from this state of disempowered, woe is me, I'm the victim, my life is terrible, living in the past, to something that's a little bit more assertive, powerful, and I'm living my best self at this moment, regardless of what happens. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. So I love that. I love that.
yeah, because it's like it's a short life, especially as you get older, you realize how fast it goes by, and we're gonna forget everything. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, unless I don't know, I need to make some ayahuasca pills.
I'm all
um,
for it. I would sign up in a heartbeat. Oh my goodness. Oh my
so
goodness.
oh yeah, that stuff. Okay, so like I cannot keep down the tea at all. Literally,
Right.
it comes right back up. But you just dehydrate it and put it in capsules. So anyway, so Facebook user says, "Oops, I forgot to write my name. It's me, Leva. Just Eve is okay too."
Hey, Justine.
That's an I at the front, she says. This is cracking me up. This is long. Hold on, I gotta get through this.
Okay.
The other fellow Gemini moon. Oh, from earlier today. Okay, this girl is crazy. She's popped on my birthday post, and she's like, "Hey, do you have any Gemini in your chart by chance?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm a Gemini moon." And she's like, "Me too." Isn't that crazy? She says, "Thank you for the reading, the chemistry one." Okay, so this was a chemistry girl. It makes
Gotcha.
sense,
Okay.
and you basically said what I already thought for myself too. To get out of my past failures, basically. The King of Wands reminded me of that scene from Lion King where Mufasa's spirit says to Simba, "Remember who you are." I think about the words constantly when and then it's just dot dot dot, and it goes on. She probably said more, and it's probably just not showing me, unfortunately, because
Right.
that's a really cool comment. So sorry, I was
Oh,
laughing
that
so
is.
it's
Oh
a
my
me,
goodness.
Leva. Just Eve is okay too. That's an I at the front. I don't know what accent that was. I have no
Oh my
idea, but
goodness.
it's because she said it's a me. I
It
was thinking like
sounded like,
Luigi.
right? That's where I was going.
It was like it started Luigi,
Well,
and then I think it went to like fat Italian mom. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that Leva is not Italian. I don't know.
fat Italian mom. I dig that. I dig that.
I'll take it. You
Is
know,
there a question, tarot-wise, that I can pull for you?
oh, what's that? Oh, a question.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Do you have one I could pull for you?
yeah. So I'm starting a new endeavor. Well, you know, I've been teaching a lot of people how to make their own tarot decks. And it kind of occurred to me as some people were having some difficulties in things that I enjoy doing, that since I own a publishing company, that maybe I would start publishing some tarot decks. And so I've got
Okay.
two, possibly three people right now, and possibly four actually. And I mean, these artists are, I mean, this is good. Like, I'm just kind of wondering, so far, I'm not overwhelmed at all. It's fine. It's running great. I'm helping everybody. Everything's coming together. But I just kind of want to know if this is going to be like how this is going to go for me. In the
Okay, let's take a look
I kind of
into
want
it.
to know actually like how it's going to go in the immediate like within like this year, and then I kind of want to know how it's going to be long term.
Okay. So I'm getting a little bit, even before we start pulling cards. So the first thing that I want you to remember and to be okay with is the fact that people are going to ebb and flow for you. So the people that you have now very well may, you know, move forward, move on, or leave. And not to take it personal, it's just business, honey. Like don't internalize them leaving.
No, I
like
want
literally,
I
if you
want
go
them
back.
to feel comfortable enough to do their own. Yeah.
Good. Because it just seemed like the four that you have, it seems like it's going to reduce itself here soon, months or so. But it's nothing personal. It's not about you. It's nothing that you did about the relationship. It's just, yeah, just whatever it goes. Just let it do its thing. I don't even think it's going to be dramatic, but I feel like sometimes you very well may get in your head a little bit about things, and you know, we're human, right? And so we overanalyze it, we overthink it, and like, is there anything I could have done better? Don't worry about that. That's what is happening when that situation isn't your problem to fix. So no worries there. So let's see, this year is what you are looking at. Okay. This year. I love how much of a networker you are. Like, you've created a big collective of people, and so you have like strings that you could pull at any moment. So I love that. I promise I'm gonna pull cards.
Oh no, that's cool. I'm enjoying this. This is great. Thank you.
Yeah, when you see me kind of gazing off into the distance, that's me kind of tuning into my intuition and listening to whatever I'm feeling or getting downloaded in. And so when I was hopping into like your space, what I felt was like you could think of like a piano, but a piano like wrapped around you. So all you have to do is like press a key and there's the thing that you need. Press this key, there's that thing that you need. Press a key, there's this person that has a thing that, you know, you like, you just have this piano, this orchestration that you can create at a dime. And I love that you have that. And to me, it's only people who are super social, really good networkers, have a community that's able to do that. So I love that. I love that.
Thank you.
This year. I'm glad you're not overwhelmed. 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, 6. Oh, funny. You want to see something? First card I got for you is the 2 of Cups, along with the Knight of Wands and the 8 of Cups. You know what the funny thing also is? We have the 8, this guy, because we just saw that a moment ago. This is the only new one, because we also got that one as well. So, and I'm impressed just the fact that we've seen all these cards before. Just in the, you know, the readings that we're doing for everybody else today. So in thinking about what's going to be happening for you this year, I feel like it's very easy and it's very predictable. Like, you'll be able to see what is happening. You're not going to be blindsided by anything. Like, anything that you dream up and you project, that's what will occur. So I don't feel like you're going to be blindsided or that you're going to be disappointed. The only thing that would disappoint you is if you created something that you disappointed, or Oh, that's not the word. If you created something to deliberately disappoint yourself, self-sabotage, that would be the only thing that would disappoint you. Outside of that, it's like, honey, it's very clear. It's like you looking out into the distance, you're planning this whole environment. This year seems to be a cakewalk, is ultimately what I'm getting off of that. And I love the fact that we also saw these cards today.
That's awesome because that's how it's feeling so far. It's feeling like a cakewalk. Can I
Yeah.
bother you for one more question because you made me think of something?
Not at all. Come on, man.
Okay, awesome. Well, my Love Light and Go Fuck Yourself deck, the
Yeah.
card game. What do we think about that? Like, do you think that how do we think that's gonna go?
Okay. What over what timeline are we thinking?
Like
Period or
immediate, like how, like up to the Kickstarter, which will be in April. Because
okay.
so far I've got 27 pre-sales, which is not bad. That takes $1,000 off my funding goal, so that's great. But I haven't really been like super advertising it. But when I do post on Instagram or on in Tarot Mood, it doesn't get a lot of action. But I feel like a lot of people are saying they're interested. And so I'm kind of confused on how the Kickstarter is going to go.
You're fine. I understand your confusion, and the thing that I'm feeling about it is an oversaturation on the stuff. Like, let me see if I can get this clear because I don't have the lived experience of creating a deck and going through the whole Kickstarter process, so I don't know a lot of what's coming in for me. But the big thing that I'm getting is that Abby loves, and I'm talking about myself in the third person, so I'm separating things here. So Abby loves that you're doing all this shit. However, it feels like creatively, it feels like business-wise, you very well may be spreading yourself a little thin in regards to like either resources, collateral, interest, things of that nature. Because people who say that they're interested in your work, when it comes to putting money where their mouth is, it's not going to reciprocate. So this project in itself, while it feels good in theory, it feels like right now might be too soon for it. Like to give maybe Mood some more time to anchor down and get some roots, maybe the Oracle to anchor down and get some roots. But this one in particular just seems like it might be a little premature to expect the same out of it that Mood is getting. Does that make sense at all?
It does, especially since my plan this year was to stop making decks and to root my decks that I've already made. And then this idea came to me, and it was such a simple idea and fun idea that I just sort of whipped it out. And then,
Yeah.
you know, now I feel like I would prefer to maybe wait till next year and build the following, but I've already promised 27 people July delivery. And so I'm probably going to do it. And I just am
Understood.
curious, like, is it going to fund? I guess it's kind of a yes or no question.
Okay, let's do it right there then. Is it going to fund? So the first thing I'm feeling, and I'm going to pull cards to get a confirmation, but my first feeling is that it's not going to quite hit the goal that you need it to without a lot of effort. So it feels like, yes, you totally can. If you're pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, you can make anything go uphill. But it's like after it gets funded and after you fulfill those orders, that's when you start to realize, I don't know if this really was the best idea. I don't know if this deck is really going to pay me back for the time and the energy it took to promote it, to push it, to get it out there. But let me see what else shows up for us.
Yeah, and I will tell you this, I've never ordered less than 1,000 decks at a time, but I'm only ordering 500 of this deck because I know it's going to be a hard one.
See, yeah, everything. See, I feel like even your intuition is telling you like maybe this wasn't the best idea, and that's totally okay not to have, you know, a stellar amazing idea or pushing it too soon or developing it too early. But I understand you're also like, you don't want to back down. You've already said, hey, I'm going to do this, and you want to follow suit. You don't want to disappoint anybody, and I understand that completely. However, like if there was any way to back out of this, like for me, I would try. But that's just me, and I still want to pull cards for you. Let's see what else shows up. Okay, hun bunch. So let me show you what I got. I got the 5 of Cups, I got the 9 of Wands, and I got the Devil card for you. I did pull a few more. I got the Six of Swords, along with that King of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. So ultimately, like if we're thinking about, is it going to fund? Not without a shit ton of work. Are you working with someone on this project too?
I was.
Uh-oh, what happened?
Well,
Excuse me.
this, what?
I just realized that can be a little like revealing. So if you don't feel
No,
comfortable telling me what happened, it's more than fine.
it's okay because I went public with it as soon as it happened in the group because I don't want anybody to feel like I'm dishonest or I feel that I have a lot of ethics. But it was started out with me and a friend, and he had the idea. But then, I'm an Aries and I work fast. And
Right.
so I was getting shit done. Like the box was done, half the cards were done. It was going, going, going. He didn't do a thing, which was fine with me because I know that I work fast and I know that he has a day job. But he was
Yeah.
getting on me for every little thing. He was like almost abusive. And I've worked in an abusive working relationship before, and I wasn't about to do it again. And so I told him how, I'm not interested in working together anymore going forward. How can we resolve this? And he got nasty. And so I cut him out. Because I did all the work, he didn't do anything. What did I cut him out of? An idea? You can't copyright an idea,
True.
I'm not crying.
Very, very true.
So
I'm still not crying.
I said my freaking makeup. I swear, every time I get on camera, like my makeup, I'm all like, oh. So I was working with somebody. That's interesting that you would pick that up.
I wish, and I don't know if you can, I wish you could let this one go. I don't know if you can because you already kickstarted it. So if this one doesn't fund, I think we should just be okay with that and let that kind of go by the wayside. You could have it fund by putting a lot of work. And then it would hit. But after it hits and you get it produced, I don't feel like it's giving you the pay. As I choke on myself, excuse me, it doesn't feel like it's giving you the payback of what you put into it to get it done is like the big thing that I'm getting with it.
Yeah.
So I'm so sorry that situation occurred because that's not fun, not okay. But I'm so glad also that you stood your ground, you had your boundaries, and you didn't allow yourself to get walked on. So good job for you for doing it.
He cursed me after I told him after I said that the boundaries and I put my foot down. He told me this deck will not produce for you. He cursed me basically with the deck, and I think that if you get somebody angry enough, that their energy can work like that.
Well, of course, but the other thing is that we're not going to pay that in T-Mine. Like that just gets to go and vanish, gets to and whatever, because that kind of person, that kind of energy, that kind of situation has no business here. And if that's oil and water, great. Let that move on because you don't need it anyway.
I need to remember that I'm in charge of my own energy and nobody can curse me if I don't want them to. So I need to remember that for sure. But I was just thinking about that, about the deck possibly not doing well. Maybe it could be because of the curse. But I agree with you. I think it's going to be a lot of work. And here's what I think I'm going to end up doing, to be honest with you. I'm going to put it out. I'm going to do the work. And if it doesn't fund, I'm going to drop it. I'm not going to push it anymore. And so if I have to refund $1,000 in pre-orders, so be it, So
I mean, it's better than what it could be. For instance, like if you did this whole situation and then maybe your brand gets saturated in a way that you don't recover from. Maybe you're spread too thin and now you're trying to market 8 things instead of 4 really good things. So you letting this go will pay itself off for you in other ways. So there's no problems at all cutting out things that don't serve you, even if it's business projects, even if it's creative endeavors, even if it's people that do not serve you.
See, the other part of me is like Cards Against Humanity went huge. Why couldn't I? Maybe this will go huge. Because when you do a Kickstarter brings you 50% of the customers. 50% from everybody I've heard that's in a campaign, 50% are from Kickstarter. And so this could really catch people's eye and go big. But who fucking knows?
I mean, you're right. Anything could happen, right? Anything could happen. But already you've only ordered 500. You already kind of have this like less than desirable relationship with the work because of like what happened with your person, with your friends. We're already kind of like, you're not exuberant about this particular project. You're not like super excited and flying off the moon. This to me would end up being a very black or white. Either it does amazingly and it pays you off well, or it doesn't and we're not really butthurt about it. If you were super excited, like I'm doing this come hell or high water, I would be right there with you, like signing up, give me 10 cards. I'm going to put them in my store. Why? Because I support you. But you don't even really want to deal with this situation. That is telling you everything you need to know, which is, I don't really want to do it. I don't want to deal with it. You don't really want to deal with it. If you really don't want to deal with it, who says you have to? Because you have $1,000 worth of collateral on the line, it's not even yours yet. That you can refund. So at least you'd be able to own your end of that bargain and provide that back to your client base, and just focus and double down on aspects of your business that are amazing, that do work beautifully, that you do love to bits and pieces. Doubling down on what works for your business is how you get more successful. So it just gives you room to do exactly what you want to do. I'm going to just mic drop that.
You gave me a really good idea just now. A lot of the cards are, and we're like going way long here. We're at an hour, 15 minutes, but I know I'm rambling, but a lot of the cards could easily be turned into memes, you know? And I think that if I took until, because March, April, May, those are the best months for Kickstarter campaigns. So if I took the year and maybe tried this next year and turned a bunch of those cards into memes, that could boost my business in so many ways. It's the content galore. You know what I mean? Like maybe
there
that's
you go.
And I can email, like I said,
especially if it makes
people. I can email these people and say, do you want a refund right now or do you want to wait till next year and see what happens? I have their money. It's not like I spent it. So. Well, thank you. Right. I know that was like really in-depth and long. I'm sorry to.
Not at all, honey. I do this professionally. I have these conversations daily. It's all good. No, that's an excellent idea, because that gives you the opportunity to test out your market in advance. It gives you the opportunity to develop community around this project in advance. You get to know what cards are going to work well, know what memes aren't going to go anywhere, and you can kind of cultivate your deck or call your project in advance. So it's like, that's really freaking brilliant there. So yeah, take that one. Do it.
Okay, I'll do it.
Yay!
Thank you. You're good at this. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on and having a wonderful interview with me. I think it went really well, and you're so interesting, and like, I just love you. I know Kaylani loves you. Gina says, I'm not crying, you're crying. She also said, maybe you should change the name of the deck to Love Light and go fuck himself.
Oh, I love that.
That would be the ultimate dig. He'd be like, what?
Nice. I dig it.
That's too funny. Well, we should do this again sometime soon.
Hell yeah, I'm always down. You know where to find me.
I do. I find you all the time. I'm like, do you need more decks yet?
I know. You'd be like, dude, I just sold out today.
Well, sometimes I go check and see, because sometimes when you're low in stock, it'll say one left or something like that. But today I didn't do that. Did you just sell out today?
No, I didn't. Luckily, I still have 4 in stock, so I'm good there. Your Young Witch sold out about a week ago, and I just haven't done like a big inventory purchase as of yet, so that's on me. But they move a little bit slower too, so I'm not like running at the gambit just yet. Totally fine. I got the deck set I just ordered with you today coming, so I'm super excited about that. And did you figure out how to do that through Cubic?
I was like having issues earlier and I didn't, but maybe I'll try to do it before the postman comes tomorrow. It I don't really want to repack them.
No, you're not repacking them. Are they in a box right now?
A huge box. I don't have any bags that will fit.
Wrap it. Just wrap it in a trash bag. So like that's it. Like literally it just has to be like wrapped in plastic of some sort. So
Okay.
trash bags is grocery bags, whatever works, wrap it around the box, tape it down snug, and then throw your new label on top of that. That qualifies for cubic shipping and it gives you a reduced rate. It's that reduced rate that will save you more money. Thank you. You're welcome. No.
No, I do. Yeah, you're like bomb at that. You should probably do like a YouTube video at that or something, because that is really good information. Well, everybody check out the AV Tarot Market on Etsy if you want some really awesome pre-loved decks that are all pretty and cleared and packaged nicely and smelling good. And I heard she does not fart on them like I do. So,
Yeah.
if that's your thing, whatever. You can order them from me
I don't
farted
fart
on, or you can get clear
I
decks,
don't.
whatever. All right. Thank you so much, Abby.
No, I do have everything from like, you're welcome, sweet pea. You take care.
No, tell me what you were going to tell me.
Oh, I was going to share that I do have vintage, antique, as well as new cards. So it's like even, whatever your brand or whatever your era is, I get those kind of cards all the time. Like I just got an estate from a woman who was an old school astrologer and tarot reader. So these are cards that were popular in the 70s, popular in the 60s. I had a 1940s deck that sold just recently. So there's always something interesting in the store. And I strongly suggest that people follow the store because I have new items that go up daily. And then things sell and list, like the back and forth is crazy fast. So if you see something that you want, get it that day because I cannot guarantee you it will be there tomorrow. Like I can promise you it probably won't.
How much does a vintage deck sell for?
It depends on the deck. So like I've had, oh gosh, I have some Italian sets that are in the hundreds. I have some vintage decks are like 20, 30 bucks. So it just really depends on that market for that deck in particular, because every deck gets researched. I'm looking at the market too. I'm looking at what people want, what people expect to pay out of that. I go about market rate, so no one's really surprised. But yeah, things don't stay in the store. They come and they find new homes really, really fast. So it's really
good for you. That's great. I'm going shopping tomorrow. I want a vintage deck.
Yes, go find it, honey. Go find it.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for coming and watching and for asking your questions. And everybody say thank you, Abby. Thank you. Bye.